Yo, 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 this is your boy Fireworks, and welcome back. This is Snooper's Gonna Snoop YouTube channel. So, I'm about to go see Captain America Brave New World. No, White Gold's not gonna be with us tonight. She's not feeling that well, so me and Dizzie are gonna hold down the fort, okay? So, I'm really excited. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. Of course, no, I haven't been spoiled for real, so of course, I know that Red Hulk is in the movie. Harrison Ford. I'm looking forward to seeing Anthony Mackie. My goal is to leave the theater feeling like Sam is actually Captain America. I feel like he's kind of been in limbo, and I feel like they need to really establish that ever since Steve gave him the shield. I know that he was kind of coming into it in the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series, but this is a movie. So I actually want to see him come to fruition. I want to see him deal with some hard things. And I'm excited to see him in action. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of Anthony Mackie. I think he's a good actor. I think he's funny. I know some people might not like him, but I rock with dude, you feel me? And I'm excited to see him be Sam Wilson and become Captain America, okay? So like I said, Dizzie is gonna be with us tonight, or with me tonight. I'm gonna go meet him at the theater, okay? We're gonna watch Captain America, A Brave New World, all right? Of course, when we get out, we're gonna get his thoughts, and then when I get back, we're gonna talk Captain America Brave New World. And yes, spoilers, okay? Spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie and don't wanna be spoiled, all right? Make sure you click off or don't wait till the end, because that's when the spoilers are gonna be, all right? So I can't wait, I'm excited, like I said. Make sure you guys leaving a thumbs up and leaving a like. If you're new here to the channel, hit subscribe and tap the notification bell so when I do a video just like this one, you all will get them first, okay? So I'm excited, Captain America. We'll see you all on the other side. I'm Fireworks, and this is Snooper's Gonna Snoop YouTube channel, and I'm back. All right, you guys, so we just got back from seeing Captain America Brave New World, all right? So spoiler alert, we're about to get into it. Dizzie's here with us, okay? So we just got out the theater. Dizzie, how you feeling?
Man, I thought it was solid. Probably my favorite MCU film in the last maybe 2.5 years. First, I just want to touch on the cast first. Anthony Mackie did a really good job as Sam Wilson. I've always liked Sam Wilson. He always been one of my favorites in the MCU throughout the years. And when it comes to his journey as Captain America, it wasn't at first. Well, his journey kind of continues from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, to where it's like, you know, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he was trying to come to terms with the fact that that Steve Rogers, you know, gave the mantle over to him and gave him the shield. And if you watch the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you can kind of see the dilemma that he was having. It kind of carries over a little bit into this one. So I really wouldn't say that this version of Captain America is like fully realized. You know what I'm saying, just yet. Maybe in the Avengers films it will be. But I definitely think he did a really good job. And then also Harrison Ford was a great co-lead too, as Thunderbolt Ross. I think he picked up real well where William Hurt left off. Rest in peace. But now, like I said, the cast was really good across the board. Danny Ramirez, who played Joaquin Torres, or slash Falcon, I thought he did a really good job too. He was a bit of the comic relief or whatever, because MCU they got to have their jokes in and all that stuff. At times they lean just a little bit too much into it, but like, it wasn't enough to really take me out. But I'll probably say my favorite performance of the whole entire thing was Carl Lumley as Isaiah Bradley. The moments where he ran into some trouble with some of the events that happened in the film. You know what I'm saying? They were pretty emotional moments. and given his journey and where we see him come from Falcon and Winter Soldier, you know what I'm saying, if you've watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, then you know where he comes from, and all the pain and trauma he went through with being a super soldier, you know, and trying to free his friends, and you know, just seeing that emotional trauma that he's carried throughout these years, and not really trusting the American government, and especially when it comes to being a black super soldier and all that. So so he did a really good job as well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but overall, I really enjoyed it. The action sequences were solid. I definitely liked the action sequence in the middle of the film where they were basically had that fight over the ocean around the Celestial. That was really cool. I'm glad that we got back to. I'm glad we finally got back to the Celestial after like 4 years or something, because it's been a long time. We're trying to figure out exactly, like, you know what are they gonna do with him and all this stuff. And but they finally got to it. The Celestial is the source for adamantium. They introduced that in this film as well. So it'll be cool to see where they go from here when it comes to adamantium and all the things that's going to be involved with, especially like when it comes to the X-Men and Wolverine and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But I will say though, maybe like the first 15 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, this is Sam Wilson as Captain America, you know, and headlining a Captain America movie. It did take me a little bit, maybe like the first 15 or 20 minutes to kind of like settle into the movie. And one of the criticisms that I've had about MCU movies as of late is the shorter run times. Everything happens kind of quick. And like within the first 15 or 20 minutes of any of the Marvel movies as of late, I'm just sort of like trying to like fill it out. And once I think I've like settled into one area within the first act, then it like goes to this thing, then it goes to this thing. Like it happens really quick. And so it took me a while to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, to kind of get settled in. But once like act 2 begins or whatever, you know, it really starts to pick up and it starts to ramp up. You know, but like I said, overall, you know what I'm saying, I think it's solid. You know, I would definitely watch it again. And you know what I'm saying, I don't think it's as bad as or trash as people have made it out to be. But you know, I do recommend it. And yeah, like I said, those pretty much my thoughts on that.
We give it out of 10.
I'll probably give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, I think I gave it an 8 out of 10. I think I'm actually satisfied, to be honest with you. The first 15 minutes is I think was really important. I feel like Sam has been in limbo with the Captain America character ever since he got the shield from Steve. I don't feel like he's like even made me feel like he's Captain. Like, even though we saw it at the end of his show, I was kind of like, okay, like I'm just kind of like, okay, but I'm like in a hype way about it. Like I'm encouraging about it. And I think in the first 15 minutes of this movie, it sold me because he felt like he had done this. He was comfortable in it. He was talking the shit with the mask on in the very beginning before he like went down. The first sequence where he drops down, and I saw that in the trailer, forgot about it. It hit and what's crazier, it hits even harder in the theater because you can hear the audio drop down, and it kind of scares you because I really forgot from the trailer. But that part where he drops and he says, "Wait, just wait on it," and then he hits and then he starts fighting. I was like, bro, that's a dope ass way to make Sam look really fucking cool. Like, just like for kids, like, you know how you have that attractiveness to like something that's really cool as a kid, or something that just, you know, takes you like that shit was really cool to me. Something that Steve kind of never really did. I think Steve was cool because not only was he kind of like strong, but at the same time, his ability to like utilize the shield as a weapon was really cool to see.
Yeah.
I've seen the cartoon of Captain America do that in like comics, but like to see it like in like live action where he like leans and tosses the shield and it bangs off of stuff and he can come back and catch it. Like, I think that's really dope. And the way that they had Sam doing it in this, you can tell that like from the practice that he was practicing from the Falcon and Winter Soldier show has paid off. And it doesn't, and I like it also that it doesn't look like he's all the way mastered it yet. Like he's still kind of learning, but he's really kind of gotten a lot better at this Captain America thing. Like, he's fast, he can fight, he's conditioned. Also, I like that it's actual like Wakandan technology. So what comes with it is the ability that the Black Panther suit has to absorb kinetic energy and then release it, which I thought was amazing. I remember Geeky Cat saying a long time ago that it was stupid how Sam beats the Hulk. But when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, well, he has Wakandan tech. That I can see how that goes down. Geeky Cats gets a lot of information beforehand, so when he reads like script pages and things, some things might seem crazy, but like he's someone that really enjoyed the film, and I think that the Wakandan tech kind of like rounded that part of what he read off. And I think it also like made for a really, really cool effect. I actually thought it was really cool that it was kind of like the lullaby that Hulk had, like that Natasha has with Banner. Yeah. And I think that what he did was try to tap into that, which kind of slowed the Red Hulk down. But also before that, he hit him with that blast because he was taking all them hits from Red Hulk, which basically went back at him and knocked shit out of him. But I think that the chemistry with Isaiah, Sam, and the Falcon was amazing. I think that they played off of each other very well. I think that the Falcon kicked ass in this movie. Heard a lot of people talking shit about him before, and even before the movie even came out, but I think that's more towards the idea of the Young Avengers. I think seeing the Falcon in this movie gives me a lot better hope and a lot better optimism for the Young Avengers thing that they're gonna do. Because a lot of what was scaring me was are we gonna be connected to these characters? And I think that with him being the kind of comic relief since he's young, I think that's kind of why they went that route. And I feel like that's kind of where they're going with all the kids. They're not necessarily like diving them into something like super serious. They have serious moments like Miss Marvel and her family, Kate Bishop in the Avengers scene that happened to her in the very beginning, and then her fighting and learning with Hawkeye there. And actually, I mean, to give Kate Bishop some credit, people will forget, bro, but she went one-on-one with Fisk. And now that I watched Daredevil and know how strong Fisk really is, that was a feat for little Kate Bishop to go one-on-one with Fisk. Fisk kind of pulled back, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Fisk kind of pulled back because, you know, Kate Bishop, you know what I'm saying? She's a girl, she's smaller. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think with Fisk, like the rage is, you know what I'm saying, toned down a little bit. Different with certain people. Yeah. But going back to when you were talking about the Wakandan technology in the suit, one of the first things, like within the first 5 minutes, because as soon as the movie starts, like it goes right into the action. One of the things that I thought that was dope was that shot when he's, you know what I'm saying, when he's in the air and he comes down and he faces off against those 4 soldiers, the way that he landed, you didn't hear any sound. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a boom, because he was going like super fast, right? So when he touched down, there was no sound. And then there was another part like that when he went into the cathedral to face Sidewinder. Yeah, and shout out to Giancarlo Esposito too for playing Sidewinder, who's the head of the Serpent Society. Giancarlo Esposito always plays like a really good, intimidating villain. But there was a part where Sam dropped down into the church, and when his feet hit the ground, you know what I'm saying, there was no sound. So I think the Wakandans tinkered with, well, not tinkered, you know what I'm saying, but fashioned the suit in a way to where it's like, you know what I'm saying, like it's what do you call it, like soundproof or something, or you know what I'm saying, like it doesn't give off any vibrations.
So it's easier for the person who has that technology to be in stealth mode or to not make any noise. And I, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was really dope. Because like when you mentioned the suit, you know, and we've been talking about that leading up to the movie, you know what I'm saying? Like how he's gonna face off against the Red Hulk. He doesn't have the super soldier serum, which there's a couple times in the movie where, you know, he kind of mentions that, like, you know what I'm saying, what if I would have just taken the serum, and you know, it would have been easier. But and there's also another secret cameo in there too. And you know where the super soldier serum thing is mentioned.
Oh
yeah, but I won't leave that as a surprise for y'all. Y'all probably already know who it is, but anyway. So he deals with that in the movie, but I like how there's more of a reliance on technology, you know what I'm saying, and your wit. And not to say that Steve Rogers didn't have that either, but with Sam Wilson, it's more critical because he doesn't have that super soldier serum to fall back on.
right.
He really has to use his intelligence, his wit, his skills as a counselor to be able to talk his way around certain situations. You know, if physical combat doesn't do it. So I like how they highlighted all those things that really makes that makes Sam worthy of that mantle. It's not just combat all the time. Right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is, you know, is what's between the ears, you know, and playing mind games and how to, you know what I'm saying, how to finagle and move around and be able to handle yourself under moments of like high pressure. So yeah, that was dope.
I think that so I think that the Falcon kicking ass the way he did, being able to kind of command situations and still get shit done. I think out of all of them, he was more the serious one. Like, yeah, he was comedy, but when it came to getting stuff done, he got it. Like when they had to go on the mission to get the serum or the animinium, he got the animinium. Like he did his job. It wasn't just like I messed up.
Yeah.
It was more so like there was one time when they were flying over the Celestial, and he got clipped and he got injured, and I feel like that was like a young moment for him. So I kind of like how they made him more of like a comedic character, but he still had a serious tone, and I like that because I think that really makes me feel good about the Young Avengers thing that they're going to do. I wasn't necessarily negative towards the Young Avengers, but because we didn't have a Young Avengers, like we don't have a team of these kids that we know and that we can feel, and then we need to put them together, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want it to feel like non-organic. I want it to be needed, you know what I'm saying? And so like when we have all those characters together, I want to be able to like, okay, I can understand and feel the vibe and the chemistry. And I think that him kind of just being like Anthony Mackie's kind of co-star in this movie really did a lot for me, and I hope that it does a lot for the fan base to like get familiar with this character instead of just kind of literally having him off to the side, you know what I'm saying? I thought that Sidewinder was dope. I thought that was a cool character that kind of like pushed the stakes for Sam. I think that like this movie also was gonna make him Captain America, but put him through the ringer so you can see it. Like he was driving and dude popped out of nowhere. I was dead.
That was intense. You know, and that's why I say like, that's what I said earlier about like Giancarlo Esposito playing a really intimidating villain because the way Sidewinder came out of nowhere and started blasting and threw the bomb, like it was a really tense moment, you know what I'm saying, to show that, you know, somebody like Sam who doesn't have the super soldier serum can run into these threats that are really, really serious. Cause Sidewinder was, you know what I'm saying, was throwing them bullets and everything and grenades and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, like he was on point with it. But that type of threat element, you know what I'm saying, that level of threat, I was glad to see that, because it was another opportunity for Sam to show how he can maneuver around certain situations and just use things around him, you know what I'm saying, to be able to overcome his enemy and all of that. And then also Samuel Stearns from the Incredible Hulk, who is also known as the leader in the comics, the supervillain, the leader, who's very, very intelligent. He's like, has a green head and has like a big head, it's like that big and all that. He makes his return in this movie, and he's very, very important to the plot when it comes to influencing certain things within the plot, you know, when it comes to adamantium, and when it comes to how Thunderbolt Ross, it basically affects Thunderbolt Ross's leadership, you know, and how he's able to react under the pressure of being a leader and being somebody who could be an example. And of course, you know that turned sour, but Tim Blake Nelson plays Samuel Stearns, so that was cool to see him come back. So,
I think that I also think that the Isaiah Bradley plot point with the leader and the kind of brainwashing idea was really, 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 really dope.
Yeah.
The song Mr. Blue, if y'all don't know, I caught that detail.
Yeah.
That's what they used to email. Him and Banner used to email. And I think that Banner was Mr. Green. I think that he was Mr. Blue.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, or whichever. I don't know. But I heard that the song that was used had the name Mr. Blue in it. And I was like, wow, that's even, I like that it had a kind of like a scary, suspenseful kind of element to it.
Yeah.
Like the way the song comes on. And I feel like that maybe, well, actually, I know that this movie was reshot they did reshoots, and they also cut some out. And so I know that some of those moments where the music is playing and people are kind of like in a trance or becoming in a trance, there probably was more footage of that, where it gets flushed out just a little bit more to where it gives off like a really like what the is going on, instead of it just kind of happening. It was like some moments are kind of fast, but I didn't really have a problem with it, because I don't feel like it made me unsettling. Like I felt like when the time was over at a moment, it was over. I feel like anything else was to flush out or make something more relatable to the audience. But I also feel like they kept the moments that they needed to. So they checked every box, like action, suspense, a little bit of horror with my brainwashing stuff. And then the real dope moment with Anthony Mackie and Isaiah Bradley in the jail cell. Like, that's a deep, emotional, high-level moment in a movie like this that I think that some of the other Marvel movies that we've had in the last 3 or 4 years just really kind of lack.
Yeah.
Like, even in the Marvels, like, I love the Marvels a lot, but the emotional things that you want to hit don't really hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, and I feel some type of way, but like, the seeing Isaiah Bradley being really emotional and you know, knowing that he's been down for 30 years and he was like knowing his whole story and seeing him, you know, be emotional over him getting caught up and brainwashed and all this, it just makes you feel horrible for this character. And then like on top of that, you get a little bit of that feeling from Anthony Mackie, feeling for him and also wanting to help him and being able to help him. You know what I'm saying? I think that adds like a certain element to this film too, that other Marvel movies don't have.
It's like the tone of like seriousness, because the golden standard of the MCU, especially when it comes to this type of movie, of course, is, you know, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And this movie had flashes of you know what I'm saying, of that same feel, because there was, of course, you know, throughout the Winter Soldier, it was tense, you know what I'm saying? It was a political thriller type thing, you know what I'm saying? And this one is too. This one is very much a political thriller too. and it does have these callbacks to Winter Soldier, where it's like the spy espionage type element. Especially everything going on with Isaiah Bradley, his distrust of the American government, and then going back to the Falcon and Winter Soldier, you understand why he has that distrust. And then what I'm saying, then also with Samuel Stearns being involved, and and Ross, what I'm saying, he's president now. So it's very much a political thriller, but it's also like, and I've heard people mention this, but it's also like a sequel to The Incredible Hulk, kind of, sort of. It's not Incredible Hulk 2, but in a lot of ways it is a bit of a Hulk movie, which I really don't have a problem with, because it's like 17 years after the fact, and sometimes you're just like, well, that character that was in that Marvel movie way back when, what I'm saying, I wonder what they doing now. Well, some of those questions are answered in this one. So I do I do appreciate that, even though it took about 17 years, which is crazy to think about.
Right.
But Isaiah Bradley, he probably had like my favorite arc in the film, what I'm saying, for the reasons that you gave. So
yeah, just really good emotional moment. The action scenes were amazing. Other than a couple of green screens, I didn't have a problem with really any of the CGI or stuff like that in this movie. I think Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk looked really, really good. I also think that it was a perfect rollout. Like, not too long ago, I didn't know anything about Red Hulk, and I read up, and I didn't know if it was really going to be like the comic book, and it's pretty much kind of comic book accurate, with Ross, having to die. But in the comic book, the leader and MODOK approach him, not just the leader. The leader and MODOK approach him to allow this tech to be used, but in return, you save Thunderbolt Ross. But they end up basically making him a Red Hulk. And in this one, they didn't really touch on him having much of the fire, heat power. You saw it, but they didn't like I didn't see like Hulk rage to the point where like shit around him caught fire. Like shit was burning. Like some of those cherry blossoms were burning and the stage was burning, but like the Red Hulk in the comic books really puts off like a heat wave. Like, and I wanted to see like maybe like we get the heat wave or whatever or something, but like I like how they like kind of toned it down. I guess that would have like made things a little bit too much bigger there for the ending for Sam anyway. You know what I'm saying? He went down to one wing. You know what I'm saying? If he would have had both in wings, he definitely would have beat Red Hulk.
But hell, like I say, even that vibranium pulsating, purple energy or whatever, even off of just one wing, I mean, it leveled that entire block where the final battle took place between Sam and Red Hulk.
Yeah.
I mean, so that was cool. But if he had both of them wings though, it probably would have leveled the surrounding forest and probably leveled half of the Washington monument, but can't remember the name of it. It would have leveled half of that. I believe. But yeah, but no, it was dope. There was a lot of cool, technological stuff in here though. That was dope.
And I also like how they kind of like molded the movie to Sam. Like Sam is not Steve. But I think that like how Chris Evans is not necessarily Captain America. You know what I mean? Like when you see Chris Evans, he plays a lot of other characters that really aren't Cap. But when you see him, it's like Cap. So with Sam, I feel like it was Anthony Mackie there a lot. Like there was serious moment. In the serious moments, I feel like he was Sam when he was trying to get some information. He was talking to the president. But when he was joking, I felt like that was Anthony Mackie joking. And that's another reason why I like Anthony Mackie, because he has that like comedic effect, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's relatable. It feels homey-like. It's different. It almost reminds you of like, I don't know, like Medea, Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy type movie comedy.
Yeah, it's a different element, because I was thinking about that as the movie was playing, especially the limo scene where him and Isaiah and Joaquin, they're on the way to the White House, because I mean, it's like we know how Steve Rogers was, throughout the MCU. I mean, he'd have some fun moments here and there, but for the most part, he was just very serious. You know what I'm saying? Just very like, you know what I'm saying? But he was a soldier out of time, and that was one element to Steve that, you know what I'm saying, where, he kind of took, even though he was asleep for 70, 75 years, that was something that he carried with him from, you know what I'm saying, all those many years before. But Sam Wilson, even though he's also serious, he comes from a different world as well. He comes from, a different lineage, you know what I'm saying, and different influences and stuff. So his sense of humor is kind of different. It comes from a certain place. He's from Louisiana. His family's from Louisiana. In Falcon and Winter Soldier, you saw him cut up with people who, cut up and joke with people that he grew up around and stuff. So I will say this though, it's a different Cap in that sense. You know what I'm saying? It's not Steve Rogers, right. But I appreciate that though,
right?
Because if there's anything that I don't like, I really don't like a rehash of anything. You know what I'm saying? I like for certain things to move forward. I like to see where things are gonna go. But the one thing that I'm really glad that they did with Sam Wilson was of course, you know what I'm saying, just keep everything focused and concentrated, and just show that Sam will really, really go there if he has to. The fact that he was going to stand up against a whole Hulk and not have the super soldier serum, but his eye was on the prize when it came to him, doing what needed to be done. And that's a leadership quality that I feel like, that's a leadership quality that I definitely want to see him lean into more in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, because apparently with Avengers Doomsday, he's going to put the new Avengers team together. He's going to be one of the main leads. So I can't wait to see more of those leadership qualities in Sam. And like I said, it's just an interesting dynamic because he's one of the ones that doesn't have like actual superpowers. But even though he doesn't have the superpowers, he has the intelligence. So I think that's going to be, I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah.
Okay. So, you all let us know down in the comments how you all feel about Captain America: Brave New World if you went to see it. And of course, White Gold wasn't able to make it, so yeah. I guess we'll end up checking that out on the channel, I guess, whenever it comes out on stream. And we got to pick back up on the MCU stuff anyway, because phase 4 and 5 are starting to roll out. We need to get all that stuff up on the channel. So we enjoyed it. I had a good time. We definitely recommend go checking out this Captain America movie. I definitely want to see it again. Can't wait to see it again, to be honest with you, because I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun seeing Sam Wilson be Captain America, kick ass. And he's Captain America, y'all. Don't get it twisted. He can definitely lead an Avengers team. He's strong. He took some axes and stuff to the chest, and he took some hits in here, but he kept rolling. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows what comes with the job. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciated it, and I had fun. So make sure you guys leaving a thumbs up and leaving a like. If you're new here to the channel, hit subscribe and tap the notification bells when we do a video just like this one. You all will get them first. All right. So we'll be back with more content. We'll see you all soon on Fireworks, Dizzie, and we out.